I didn't do the countdown tonight.
Oh, that totally messed me up. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting to see. I'm just waiting to see if somebody's chatting in. It says nobody's there right now, so we're gonna see. Maybe I went too soon.
We're live. We're live. Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, you're live. You're seeing it. Okay. Big Boss Jack, where are you? Big Boss Jack. That's how I know if we're live. Big Boss. Oh, Andy. Oh, and Andy. Andy and Indy. He is our winner for tonight. I don't know if you guys saw my video earlier today, but the first one to chat in, and he said he wanted an Australian jungle fighter, which was my last video that I did. And I said the first person to chat in tonight on live stream gets it. So Andy from Indy, this is coming to you. I'll mail it out tomorrow. Just type your address.
That's awesome.
You're the winner chicken dinner tonight. Very good, man. Oh, there's some people. All right. Vincent's in the house now. Play Scale's in the house. Axis Films. Those guys are kicking out some videos on the shorts, man. Big Boss Jack, we're waiting for you, buddy. But Andy beat you to the punch, man. So, all right, we got some people in the chat room now. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, to the Man Cave. My name is Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for tonight's show. This is season 2, episode number 2, and it is sponsored by Arm & Hammer Baking Soda, the standard of purity, just like Angelo D'Annabelle.
That's right.
You just randomly go through the house and find something that
normally. Okay, let me give you a little background. I like watching old commercials from the 60s and 70s and stuff. You know how they used to like have a TV show, and in the middle of the show they'd be like, "This is sponsored by," you know. So I try to pull out some of those old, Heinz ketchup and stuff like that. But when I saw the standard of purity, I thought of Angelo right away.
That's right.
So,
hey, Flintstones was the best.
with the cigarettes.
Yeah.
So, hey, waiting in the green room is our special guest, Mr. Stacy Armstrong. Stacy, aka Sig 20, got his first GI Joe in 1968, and he was hooked ever since. Started recollecting in the 1990s, which led to him repairing and reflocking Joes. In 2011, he started selling his stuff on eBay, which eventually led to him custom reproduction sets, 3D printed parts, and much more. So we're looking forward to talking to Stacy tonight. As always, I like to highlight other YouTube channels, and tonight's plug goes to DIY Digital Railroad. I'd like to thank all my subscribers, and 3 of my newest followers are Harold Ellis, Brianna Russell, and John Wise. Next week, our special guest will be Keith Ward. He is a diorama maker. A lot of you guys may follow him on some of the Facebook pages. So looking forward to having Keith Ward next week. Now, what everybody tunes in for, our special introductions. And tonight, we are starting off with you, sir. I had you down first.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Here it goes.
Let me hide that message first. All right. This man is like a limited edition snack. He's rare, he's irresistible, and definitely not for everybody. This is Mike Bowinski.
Hey. Happy New Year.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year. You're up next, brother. Is your wife watching?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, if this man's wife knew he came with a warning label, she might not have married him. This is Mr. Jim Egner. I was nice to you tonight, Daddy.
Yeah, you were. I appreciate it.
Well, your wife's always watching. I never.
Yeah. You got to tone it down for her sake. Yeah.
You, sir, I haven't seen in over a month, so you're on the chopping block. He is a master of pretending to be productive while secretly collecting 1/6 scale dioramas. This is Angelo D'Annabelle. Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. And last but not least, we got this gentleman down here from Florida. You probably got 90-degree weather down there, don't you?
Yeah, I'm real close to Georgia. However, it was like 80 degrees today, so I'm lucky and fortunate.
This man's not addicted to collecting. He can stop as soon as he completes his recent collection of figures. This is Mike McCarthy.
Woo!
What's up, Mike?
How's it going?
We'll bring everybody up in here. Let's see who else is in the house. Gamer Newbies in the house. Play scale soldier production. We got 14 people already. I must have missed some folks.
Nice.
Am I coming in clear? Are you guys hearing me?
Yep. Loud and clear. Not dropping any frames. Looking good.
Good, man. Well, who wants to go first? I guess we'll go back to the top. Mike, you're up, brother. What's been new in your zoo?
Well,
this Mike.
The other
Medic Mike. Medic
no,
Mike.
you're good. You're good.
Well, let's see. Aside from doing like literally, I've got like literally 25 talkers on the table here for other people. So be patient, guys. I'm getting there. I've been playing around with some different paints for some heads here. Actually, I got some good advice from Stacy a while back about which to use. This is something new I'm trying. I'm trying to duplicate the kind of shininess that you get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's a little bit too shiny, but I'm still playing with mixing it. So that's the current work project, and the top secret MSV project is still rolling along too.
Top
That's
secret.
pretty much me.
All right.
Does Mr. Jim Egner have anything to do with that top secretness?
Yes, he does.
I guess we'll bring you up next then.
All right. What's up, everybody? I think last time I did you asked what's new in the zoo, and I went down this whole grocery list.
Yeah, then we didn't have much of a show left because you.
I don't want to do that again to you this time, but I am working on a whole bunch of different projects, and some of it's new, some of it's in the shops already. This is kind of the latest thing I've been working on. I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
Wow.
It's
stand.
Stand for the space capsule.
Yeah,
So
very cool.
I've been playing around with that for a while. Never was really satisfied with the base, the way it looked, and the print times were always just unbelievably long. So I wound up having an epiphany of, doing it kind of NASA style with the holes drilled in for lightening up the materials and that sort of thing. And so that's kind of where I landed, made it a three-part kit so that you could choose different color combinations if you wanted to. So it's up in the shop now. The next super secret project is one of these.
Copter.
Nice.
Yeah, that's this is actually an Action Man one I've had for years. Since I can't really do clear, I thought, well, let me try some variation of the capture copter windscreen. So that's I'm working on that. Let's see. Anybody recognize that?
The battery. Oh, that's for the Minesweeper.
Minesweeper. Yeah. That's in the works. Somebody asked for these things.
Tent poles? No, those are for the
the red.
Yeah, for the firefighter.
The stretcher. So I can't save my life, so I'm not sure what to do with these. But anyway, the person who asked for this, I'm going to send to them. They're going to do the sewing on it. We'll see how they work out. And that inspired me to do, work on the Army version that has the cross connectors and the little feet on it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm working on that as well. I'm almost done with the model work on it. And I think I showed y'all the blue version of the snow skis before. I don't know if y'all can see. Yeah. And I don't know if you can see this on the camera or not, but these little ear pieces that hold the rubber band on certain versions of these skis. It's been a real beat down to try to get that to where that works. And I think I showed y'all this the last time. It's the Billy Clubs.
Billy Club, yeah.
Yep.
Different color now.
Yeah, this one's, I'm doing those in tan now. And the last part is the rest of this thing.
Wow.
So I'm doing the lights now. This is one of my landing skids that's in here. I've done the model work for the pontoons. They're actually going to be a tube with caps on it instead of just trying to print that as one piece. And this claw mechanism, I don't know if the Action Man version was significantly different than the U.S. version, but I'm going to do it up Action Man style. So that's kind of the main things I've got working on. I've got a whole bunch of custom stuff people have asked for that I've spent most of my time on. Having a day off like today, and I get tomorrow off as well. I hope to be able to dig out and get some of those off my workbench. I'd love to show you some of them, but I can't right now. So,
you got a question already from the chat room. I left it up there for you. Jeff from Skunk Work wants to know, did you ever make a snare for the Devil of the Deep?
Yep, sure did. The problem that I ran into with it is the rope itself. You have to print the rope. And that doesn't hold up very well over time. It gets real brittle and breaks. And Stacy may have some ideas on some alternate ways of doing that. So right now, I just didn't feel like that was good enough because of the tendency for it, because you're printing a rope at a pretty small scale. Over time, that just gets brittle and breaks. I've got pieces of one laying around here somewhere. I just saw it the other day. Here it is. See where the problem is.
Yeah.
The rope part of it gets, the rest of the handle's done, but that breaks, and that's no good. So I got to come up with a better solution. That's kind of it, y'all. That's all I got. Unless you want me to go through some of the stuff that's already new in the shop. So
no, Stacy's already fallen asleep. I'm looking at him in the green room, so we gotta let you go there, buddy. But we do have a lot of people in the chat room. I'm sure you'll get some more questions as the night goes on. Who did I have next? Mike McCarthy or Angela? Angela was next, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, Sicky boy, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going. What's new in the zoo? Well, no longer have a fever. I had the flu, sinus infection, ear infection. Was pretty beat up. I'm still dragging a little bit. School tomorrow again. It's going to be rough. I did have the week off because of being sick. I tried to do some things around the house. I got some flocking done. I don't know if some of you saw some of the flocking I did. I actually started flocking a couple of the classified figures, and you could see how small they were.
Oh my!
So that was quite intense, trying to get those little tiny heads flocked using the most minuscule amount of glue and trying to make sure you don't mess up on the mustache and the lip area. So that was pretty intense. I want to talk to Stacy a little bit about his flock work. I wrote a couple more Joe stories. Getting ready for Valentine's Day story. I put together this figure. It's my latest Winter Joe that I really, really like.
That is cool.
So
yeah.
I just flocked that. I flocked that head yesterday. This was a reproduction. It's a reproduction head that had a painted mustache and beard on it. Mm-hmm. And I never liked the way it looked. So I made sure I flocked it before I could put him on his outfit. So this guy's all ready to go. Snow's melting now, so I'll have to wait a little bit before I can get out there and take some shots in the snow. So other than that, on the mend, hopefully. I'm glad to be back. Happy New Year to everyone who I haven't seen, and God bless.
And is that a real animal behind you, or is that
that's Cooper Puppy? We called that Cooper Puppy. That was my son James's little stuffed animal when he was 2 years old. He's now 25. So that still hangs out.
And finally, Mike McCarthy down in 80-degree weather in Florida.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Like I said, it gets cold here, but I'm good today. What's new in my zoo? I had a friend in town, one of my skating friends. So we did a lot of rollerblading, and I kind of, not really broke a few bones, but I feel like I did. So I had fun with that. I picked up this G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero mobile battle bunker. I've been putting that thing together.
Oh, wow.
I don't collect a lot of the little G.I. Joes, but I got a few. And then so at these discount stores, Ollie's, I've been buying these classified Joes up for $3.34 a piece. And I kind of went crazy stockpiling. And so I'll show you guys part of my stockpile.
Oh
Oh,
my!
you broke up.
Guys,
I guess you
where's
must like
those
that.
guys? Those are all stock. Yeah, those are all Stalker because he was the original leader of GI Joe in the comic books. Got a couple Snake Eyes with Timber today. Got a Croc Master and a couple more Croc Masters.
Those were all $3.
Another stack. So I probably got like 60 of them. And I did the math. What I picked up about 45 of them or 50 of them, and I think I paid like $80, and original retail it was like $570. So
Oh my!
I'm gonna I got one of each for myself, and I'm gonna hang on to the rest of them and sell them at a convention. Use that money to buy real GI Joes. Some 12-inch GI
Sounds
Joes.
like a plan.
Yeah, so that's what's new in my zoo.
Wow.
Well, before we get started with our guest tonight, I want to thank you because one of those made its way to Virginia Beach. Somehow snuck in that box you sent me this week.
Yeah, yeah, I had to do it.
Angelo, do I dare go down this road or stay away? Stay away.
Just like with your train set,
Let it
it's
go.
another avenue. And sometimes when you get bored or you need another little outlet, it reignites the fire. And I started that classified line, but 12-inch Joe is where it's at. But the classified is pretty neat to look at.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can go there.
It's all good as long as you find them for those cheap deals. The price
cheap
is
prices,
right. Paying $25 a pop. This is my third classified collection because I got them when they came out in 2020. I got like 4 of them, and I was like, wow, I got $80 in these 4 figures I don't even like. Sold them off. Then a year later, I bought a couple more, sold them off. But now I got a good core of characters, and I'm only in it for like $100 for the ones I like the 10 I like. And so, hey, the price is right. So
Scooter J says, yeah, he does. It is Stalker, right? The one you sent? Yeah.
Yeah.
He is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to weigh the pros and cons on this one, man.
Well, what I just did, Paul, I was going to talk to Jim about it, but I don't want to talk 1/12 scale. I just purchased 3 of the 1/12 scale vintage heads. So someone had printed on Etsy the reproduction of the vintage heads in 1/12 scale. So I'm going to take those and I'm going to flock them so they look like the adventure team. So I can have one with the Air Adventure, Sea Adventure, and Land Adventure, all with the flocking.
But isn't that what Hasbro's coming out with this year for the 60th anniversary? Aren't they doing the 1/12 scale though, right?
They're doing 1/12 scale, a Navy diver, I think, and then another military figure, but nothing at all vintage-esque. Not even the heads.
Yeah, the little 1/12 head is not based on GI Joe from 1964.
No, so I found the heads. I found the heads that are like the vintage ones that are pretty cool that I want to put together.
Yeah, Scooters Jay said if you flock those little heads, that'd be cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Real quick, Angelo, what's your Instagram so people can see your work?
Oh, snap.
Did I miss that question somewhere?
Is it Bill?
Same. I think it's GI Joe AT.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the same, and if it's not, it's Build a Diorama too. But I'm pretty sure it's GI Joe AT. You should be able to find. Okay. But I have thousands of pictures on that Instagram site. Yeah.
I'm going back through the chats. There was somebody else that mentioned to get, I can't remember who it was, but the figure's already gone, man. First person in the chat room already said they wanted it. So.
Oh yeah,
there was somebody else that chatted along that said.
I did see that too.
I can't remember who it was now. But anyway, figure's gone. Unless Andy in Indy doesn't send me his address, then I'll bring it up again next week. But hey,
Andy will drive over.
we do have somebody in the green room tonight. He didn't fall asleep on his set. I'm going to bring him in, and I do have an introduction for this gentleman tonight.
Here we go.
Fasten your seatbelts and prepare yourselves for a wild ride through this man's virtual playground of humor and quirks. Not to mention his collection of GI Joes. This is Stacy Armstrong.
Woohoo!
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
Stacy, we don't have a clap button here. We all have to clap for you.
I should have
applause
a
button.
man.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good, good. You're a little blurry, but
I'm
it
blurry.
might just be your end. I don't know.
Are you sure?
So for those of you that are watching the channel and aren't familiar with Stacy, can you tell them a little bit other than what I mentioned earlier when I did your intro?
I'm sorry, you were breaking up.
I'm breaking up.
Try it again.
I say, for those people that may not know you, although almost everybody that watches my show does know you, can you talk a little bit about yourself and how you got started with GI Joes and flocking
Yeah,
and things like that?
I got my first GI Joe in 1968. It was a hand-me-down, actually. My cousin, and so 69 was my first year for a new GI Joe, and from really that point on, I was hooked. You know, as a kid, you kind of grow out of it. I did, and then I saw one at a flea market in 1990, and
Yep.
I picked it up, and I was rehooked again, and so I started recollecting. I had to sell through, you know, some financial difficulties again, but I recollected again, and I sold again, and then I recollected again, and then I decided this time I'm just gonna keep what, you know, I really like, you know, instead of just trying to collect everything. And so I started doing that, and then I started coming across real junky figures. So I figured, well, I better start to learn how to repair this stuff. And in 2010, I learned how to electrostatically flock them. And then in 2011, my wife said, you should put it on eBay. So I started on eBay doing it. And then I kind of branched out from there. I started doing all kinds of just stuff. So a lot of custom work. And I started going to conventions. And now I'm a little into 3D printing. However, Jim is scared the heck out of that. I don't want to know if I want to waste that much time. And I have a lot of printers, so I'm definitely invested. I have, I think I have like 8 printers.
Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. So I did spend some money. I do have some resin printers, and I do have some filament printers, so I can go either way with it. You know, but
Very cool.
That's kind of what I do. So I do a lot of custom work. I collect also other toys. I collect Evel Knievel. I do custom work with some of my friends, Paul from Third Son Books. I do custom work for other people like the Blackula. I flocked all those heads for the Blackula figures. And then I do Star Trek models, and then I restored the jet. That's happens to be Pastor Cruz. That's his jet.
No. Okay.
So it's getting ready to go to him. And that's pretty much it.
Well, cool. We got a lot of people chatting in and asking questions.
I work about every day doing G.I. Joe stuff. I've got all these to be restrung.
Yeah,
repainted.
I saw. You showed me that earlier. I was like,
Yeah,
Goodness gracious.
this is I just painted his head today, so I don't know if you can see. I painted the eyebrows, lips, and the scar. Oh, and the eyes actually had to be repainted.
Oh my.
man, that's too detailed for me.
Oh yeah, that's magnifying glass stuff for me.
Yeah, it's difficult. You got to get the right eye color. I've done raccoon eye Joes. This one I just got repaired today. He was muscle body. Got to put it back together. I reflocked him and painted the eyebrows. So he just got done today too.
Looking good, man.
So that's pretty much it.
Stacy, while we're thinking about it, what's your how do we find your stuff on eBay or?
I'm not on eBay anymore. I do on Facebook. So you can look me up under my name, Stacy Armstrong, or sig.20 or sig20. I'm trying to push everything G.I. Joe stuff over to sig20 so I can have my own little Facebook account, you know, so I can be an adult. But if it ever gets there, I don't know. I don't know if I have the time. I started to do it, and I'm like, I don't know if I have the energy to do that with everything else.
Stacy, got your first question from our chat room. Andy and Indy said, how can you match the red painted hair?
Well, red painted hair, as you guys know, is there's about 20 different shades of red.
Oh, yeah, there is.
So I custom mix every color that I do. What I do is I mix usually enough to do about 3 to 4 heads. So that way I'll just mark it. I take old pill bottles or whatever kind of bottles that's got a good lid on it that I can reseal it back up. And I usually start out with Liquitex is what I use for the paints. It's an acrylic. It's water based. And I use that. And then whether it's got to go lighter or darker, depending on what colors I add to it. Sometimes it's a little brown. Sometimes it's a little yellow. Sometimes it's a little white. Platinum white is what I use for the white. Mars black is black. Burnt umber is for the brown. And I forget the yellow color name. I hardly ever use it because, well, I shouldn't say that because I use there's about 60 different like yellow shades. Let me see if I can find one real quick. Primary yellow.
Primary yellow.
Okay.
How bright that is, though? You
Yeah.
can't use that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll look like a lemon head. Yeah, so you got to, most of the time you end up mixing white with it, or I mix like this one here, this color here, I'll show you. This is almost a perfect match for most of them. I don't know if you can see it. You see it in there?
Yeah.
Still on my keyboard.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
So it's got brown, white, and that yellow. That's all that is.
Okay.
And then after you have to mix it almost like water-like. The paint has to be running. You have to put on several coats. After you've coated it about 5 times, it leaves no brush strokes.
Huh.
I can show it to you.
Beautiful.
Because that's what you want to
That's
see. And then if you have any problems with it at all, I use an airbrush, and I use this. It's called dull coat.
Yep.
Okay.
Put that straight into your airbrush, and you can spray the entire head with it. It will seal it. It doesn't chip or flake off. It doesn't affect any of the other paint. It doesn't turn yellow. I've used this for 25 years.
Very cool.
It
Yeah,
seals
you're
the
not-
head so that way the paint won't rub off. So God forbid if you have to remove it.
Yeah.
Last time.
Oh my. Okay.
We got another question here from Vincent. He says, what was your most unconventional custom Joe that you made? He said, I saw a black Bullet Man photo.
Unconventional. Well, it'd either be the Black Bullet Man or the Black Eagle Eye Commander that I made. I made several of those. It takes I charge $100 to do it, and really it's not worth it because it's very painful. And you also have to supply a regular eagle eye head and the Joe head that you want the eagle eye to be transferred to.
Okay.
Man.
So you're supplying 2 heads and $100, and it takes me about 10 days, and I can do it all.
Wow.
So you have to cut the eyes out, cut the head apart, and all that to put
Yeah,
the
and then after you're
eye
done,
on the
then you
side.
paint everything and then flock it. So if it's a black eye, you have to paint everything and around the neck. So I match the colors really, really well. I've been lucky. And then, that's pretty much it. You just you flock it, and then you wait a couple days, and then after the paint is put on, but before I flock it, I spray the head with the sealer, so that way the paint won't rub off. You could drop it in the water. I can't guarantee what the flock's going to do. G.I. Joe doesn't like water.
We got another question from the chat room. We're not going to get to our panel questions.
Ah.
He said, have you ever made a G.I. Joe related to 1980s football?
Football. I have not.
I wonder if he means like the Army and the Navy football players, I guess. I don't know, or football being overseas.
Refrigerator Perry. That's who he's thinking of.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It says Rico. He might be overseas. I don't know. And he means,
G.I. Joe made their classic collection. They did that Army Navy thing, didn't they?
yeah, they did, yeah.
Notre Dame and whatever or something.
I'd love to see a Dan Marino custom.
Yeah.
All right, let's work our way around the room. Mike, you actually know this gentleman. You got any questions?
Oh,
Medic
well,
Mike?
first of all, I'd say, hey, thanks for those tips you gave me a couple of years ago on the paint, Stacy. That really helped me out. I wanted to ask you a little more about how you do those the custom eagle eye heads. You literally have to how do I put this? How do you get the eyeball mechanism inside the other style vintage head? That's what I really want to know.
Well, it's not really inside the vintage head.
Okay.
So you ever watch the movie Face Off with John Travolta?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's kind of like that. The donor becomes the face that you're trying to transpose it to. Is that's the one that you actually gut the backside of it. It's just like skin. So it's all the front part that goes actually over the eagle eye.
Oh, okay. I never would have guessed that. Okay.
Huh.
Simple.
Well, it is until you start having about 2 pounds of polyvinyl chloride all over the floor.
No.
You had to grind down the other eagle eye. That's why when you send me the eagle eye, it don't have to be in a good condition. It could, as long as the eyes work and they're, I don't even care if it has paint on the eyes. I can repaint the eyes. You want brown eyes?
Yeah.
You want pink eyes? I don't care.
It's easier to repaint the eagle eyes than it is the regular ones, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're all easy, really. Once you figure it out and you have the right brushes. But it's just, as long as the mechanism works, I don't care. And the eyes, actually work and everything. I don't care if it doesn't have a nose enough. It's gonna all go off anyways. You got to grind it all the way down.
Okay.
Wow.
Gamer Newbie has a question. What was your favorite custom action figure? I guess that you created, yeah?
Mine?
Or made for somebody, yeah.
I've got it packed away because I'm still around. I moved here and I've been in Bay City for a little bit now, but I haven't got my room done yet. But I have a land adventure that looks like this, but he's actually got eagle eyes. So he doesn't look like the eagle eye that's scared that Hasbro produced. He looks like this face, but his actual eyes just move. So it's more like the commercial that they did for 1975 for the eagle eye for Hasbro, where you actually saw he had black eyeliner underneath the eye. If you ever watched the commercial, it looks more like a regular G.I. Joe head with just moving eyes. And I kept that one. I built it for somebody, and then I'm like, so I was like, I'm gonna have to start another one so I can build these side by side. So that's what I did, and so that I actually built one and sent one away, and then I built the other one. I kept the other one for myself. So that's what I did, and it's my favorite because it looks like the TV commercial. So it doesn't look, like he looks scared, or the face doesn't look,
that must have been a prototype in the commercial.
It had to be like what I've been doing, like in the gutting the back of it out and putting that in there, and it was just a working one that a one-off probably, and it probably broke. I mean, who knows why did they produce what they did? I have no idea. But
Tim in Washington asks, Stacy, have you done anything with G.I. Jane customs? Any female G.I. Joes? G.I. Jane?
I have not. Sadly, I have not. I wanted to. I just never have. I'll do whatever somebody wants to send if it's something that can be done. I don't have any qualms about working on anything. I don't care.
Any other questions from the panel? Jim?
Oh yes.
Angela?
All right, I'm gonna jump in because I'll probably pass out after I ask a couple questions. So,
meds kicking in, huh?
So,
hey, we're halfway through the show and you haven't dropped an F-bomb yet, which is really good.
I haven't had an opportunity yet. My internet my internet went out a few minutes ago. I had to come back on. I want to ask Stacy. Stacy, master flocker you are. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time, and your work is exceptional. I want to ask you a couple questions in regards to, did you start out with a wand flocker? Did you go right straight for the box? How did you go about starting with your flocking? What do you use most often? There's more questions that go along with this, but if you can address those first.
I originally started out with, I bought one of those little puff bottles. That's originally how the very first thing I got started. And I tried that and I thought, wow, this is really cool, but the hair doesn't quite go in as far as what I'd like it to do. And it kind of, sometimes some are laying down instead of being straight up and down. They're kind of little. So I'm like, well, there's got to be a way that Hasbro did this. So I started researching, and then that's how I found out what they did. And then I went and got I got my wife's hair dryer, and it had one of those ionic things. And I plugged it in and started working in it, and I figured out how to work it. And then I realized I forgot I had it on, and I shocked the crap out of myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then I thought, woo, this is fun.
Yep.
So then I had to go, I burnt it out. So then I had to go out and I bought one. Then I made a box, and I went through small boxes to my box right now is probably that big, about that deep. So it's a pretty good sized box. And that's what I generally use. Sometimes I use, for small repairs, pinpoint ones. I tell people on the repairs that I can't guarantee that the flock will match the color
exactly
of the hair that I'm trying to match it to.
Yep. That's how that is.
We're trying to match something that's 50 years old, and my hair may stay and your hair may come off. I don't know, and if you try to clean it, don't clean it with a brush. Use tape, to get the hair off it. Tape, because if you use a brush, and don't get it wet, So I usually tell them, though, that if you are going to do this, if you don't mind, I charge the same price whether to do the repair or reflock the whole thing. So it's up to you.
Yep.
I'll do whatever you want.
And
so that's kind of what I do now.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacy. I know I'm going to jump up, keep jumping in for just a couple more seconds. Do you have multiple boxes for different colors? Do you keep switching in and out of the colors when you do one color flock? Then you clean it up, put another color in, or do you have multiple boxes that you use?
Yes, I do now have multiple boxes, because I have found that cleaning up is not so fun.
Yep.
and hair, man, as much as you try to bang, and I have an aluminum tray.
Yep.
And even though
It's
the hair
everywhere.
will slide right off it, sometimes it gets caught in the crevices, and I've got little corners on it, and my tray comes up, and then I got a grounding plate. It's easier if you use multiple boxes. So that would be my suggestion to anybody if you're going to really do this.
Yep.
Because hair is going to mix.
Right.
And if you're doing a white color to a dark, heaven forbid, you're going to get black in there, and it will show.
And the last one, and then I'll let someone else jump in.
Thank God.
A few years ago, Stacy, you were at one of the conventions, and you were flocking on site. Yeah. I was not there, but I heard how many heads you flocked within that weekend.
Yeah.
How the hell are you able to flock that many? It takes me forever in a day. And I'm meticulous, but I can't be any faster. How do you get so many done?
Well, I'm used to doing like big amounts.
Holy shit!
So I got to do these. But anyhow, what happened was I was there for 5 days, and I had already had pre-orders coming in. And mind you, this is the first time I had ever went to a show. Paul Harrison from Third Son Books invited me and said he'd give me part of his table. And I said, sure. I brought like a little display down. What the heck, right? I never was there. Every time I came down to bring heads down to give to people, there was more heads. So Yeah, I literally I did 1,000 heads in the 5 days.
Good
I
gracious.
was so beat.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I was so beat. I didn't want to look at G.I. Joe for, I said, 2 weeks. I got home. I don't even remember driving home.
Wow.
And I went with my wife and my grandson, Oliver, and it was rough. And when I got back after 2 weeks, I'm like, nope, still not going to do it. I had orders piling up. I was still doing eBay at the time, and so I was still taking orders in. I'm like, too bad. They can just wait. I was like, I can't do it. If I'm not going to do a good job, I'm not going to do it. And but what I did for there is I kind of had a little like an assembly line set up. So I had some sitting and stuff, waiting to get the hair removed. After those came out, they sat and they dried a little bit. I put my conditioner on the heads, on the vinyl or whatever, and then I paint the eyebrows, lips, and scars. Then from that point on, the next batch would be ones for flocking, and then the other area would be drying. And how I had to speed it up was I had to use a blow dryer to help dry it.
Wow. Average. How long does it take you average for one head?
From start to finish?
Yeah, for well, not necessarily getting rid of the old flock, because I know that like I'll leave it in rubbing alcohol for a night and then take it off the next day. But if once you, yeah,
why a night?
Well, because I've got to go to bed.
Oh, I use. Here's the secret. I use denatured alcohol.
Yep.
Put it in straight. Put it in, and put a lid on the top of it, and then warm it. Make it hot. That increases the alcohol content.
It doesn't affect
the hair fall
paint
off almost.
It doesn't affect the paint at all on the eyes.
Can't do eagle eyes. Don't do
eagle eyes. Oh, I know. I encountered that.
Won't affect any painted head.
Okay.
Yeah.
So denatured
won't
alcohol.
affect any painted head though.
Yeah.
Denatured alcohol. Yep.
Okay. Thank you for that tip. Because I would wait, the next day. Then I would
you don't ever have to throw it out either. Oh no. Let me show you.
Yeah. Let's see the container of this magic stuff.
Uh-oh, here it is.
Denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol is clear, right?
Yes. Yes, and that's all the flock juice in the glue.
Right. This is probably 12 years old.
Wow.
Wow, really?
You just keep adding to it. Because it's gonna evaporate. Someone's gonna evaporate. Right. So just keep adding to it. And then so that's what you do.
All right, so now you got it. You got your cleaned head. You're ready to go. You're going to put on the glue. What is it from start to finish? How long does it usually take you?
Putting on the glue to flocking?
Yeah.
3 minutes, 5 minutes tops.
Really?
Why? Does it take you longer?
Yeah.
How do you do that fast? I'm picky. It takes me like 15 minutes to get the head glued up and into flocker.
Are you guys are messing with me, right? 15 minutes?
No, I shit you not. For me, that's how long it takes. From the time I start to glue to the time I get it into the flock machine, it takes about 15 minutes, and then it's only like maybe another 5 minutes or so to flock, unless I'm dealing with longer flock or the temperature or humidity ain't right. How do you get it done so fast?
It's a 20-minute process for me, just like Mike said. From glue to end of flocking, that whole process is about a 20-minute process per head.
Let me show you.
Yeah, and I tell you this, I'm kind of picky about how I put the glue on there and stuff. I mean, I want the beard lines to be real even and everything, but
I did this one, as you can see. This here, see, he's really even.
Zoom him up, Ma.
I did.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good. Okay, so how do you do it so fast?
You got to have the right thin brush. Put it on fast. The glue has got to be runny, but not too runny. It can't be runny where it when you put it on, it'll just it can't do that.
Okay.
It's got to be just.
What are you using for glue, Stacy?
And then, see, this is like
top
what
secret.
It looked like beforehand.
Well, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
That's all right.
Don't give away your secrets, brother. We're good.
Okay. I will tell you this. I use a glue that doesn't dry very fast. Humidity doesn't really make a difference with it, and you can adjust the consistency easy.
Oh, okay. I know what I got a pretty good idea what you're using.
Water
Now.
bait?
Okay.
Now you must have a very steady hand, Stacy. Your hand must be very steady. I shake too goddamn much for it too.
Have
Hey,
you
Jim-
seen
Jim
these
Egger.
eyebrows?
Oh, forget it. I can't paint for shit.
Hey, Jim, is this why you
Yes.
stick to 3D printing and not flocking?
You got it. I once upon a time I tried all that. Nope.
It's tough. Yeah, it is
It's a
tough.
process.
Hey, I mean, practice makes perfect. So it sounds like Stacy's been doing this now at this point
Well-
14 years, and I think you guys will
Got to have
get
the right brushes.
Yeah.
It's fun.
brushes.
It's all kinds of fun to see them come back alive. You know, that's the most important thing. You get it back in someone's hands, and they look at it and they're like, "Oh wow, it's just like I had when it was new."
Best
So that's the
feeling
best.
in the world, man.
Yeah.
Well, between Stacy and Angelo and Mike, every freaking GI Joe should be flocked in the United States by now, man. I mean, that's
And,
all you guys
Jim,
do is talk about flocking GI Joes. Man.
Yeah, Jim, I got your fix for your rope. So
Oh,
you take twine rope that you get in a ball.
Hmm.
I have one here somewhere, but the twine rope is about the right size for it. You can take glue and put the glue on the twine and rub it out until it dries. That when it dries, it kind of will become stiff but still flexible.
Okay.
Then you can paint it, tie a knot at one end, tie a knot at the other end, and then when you hook it onto your wand, make a place for it to fit in there, and you just dab a little glue on it.
So
Okay.
instead of printing a rope, actually
Instead of
use
printing
it.
it, make it rope, make it actual rope,
Make an actual rope out of it.
and it's going to be cheap.
Well, that might be something I give it a whirl, because trying to print the rope, it looks great for a little while, and then it gets brittle and it breaks. And
You could use thin wire too, Jim. If you're going to go all out, go thin wire like I have for that zip line guy to going across my room.
okay,
Well, the wire
yeah,
thing
wire.
might scratch something where the rope won't.
That's true.
That's the reason why I was saying.
Action Joe Figs wants to know where you're located. You're in the great state of Michigan, right?
I am.
All right.
go Lions.
We'll leave it like that, so this way people don't come to your house and
Exactly.
show up at night.
That's okay. I'll blame Medic Mike for that.
Yep. It's all his fault.
So, any other questions from the panel? I think the chat room's kind of dying down a little bit.
Stacy, I know you do 3D printing. I know you work with Paul at Third Sons a lot. I just was wondering, how, you guys are working on stuff all the time, making cool sets and doing cool things. I know you got me working on something top secret for you. I just wanted to share with the group. When I first met Stacy, he sent me this super cool, it's a flying space adventure. You remember that?
Yeah.
Box and all, man. It was awesome. And it's a muscle body figure. And what is that? An Action Man talking torso?
Yeah.
And so
It's a combination.
Yeah,
It's
it was.
Yeah, it's a Frankenstein figure. We
Yeah.
had all these extra parts, so I put them together real quick.
Yeah.
And it's an Action Man talking astronaut.
Yep.
And we put him in a flying space adventure with a bubble helmet that we made.
Yep.
It was good. So
Super cool set. Came with a custom coffin box and everything. And I don't do a whole lot of custom stuff as part of a personal collection. That's one of the very few things that I actually have. That's a super cool one. So.
Got another question from the chat room. Have you ever thought of doing more custom horror?
horror stuff.
Horror
I'm
stuff.
always willing to do it. This here is everybody heard of Brent's Dolls?
Yeah.
Brent Sorensen?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so he came up with this and he put it on Facebook, and I said, so I messaged him. I'm like, that would be really, because I like the movie, and I said, that would be really cool if we flocked him. And he goes, can you do that? And I'm like, yeah. So he sent me a bunch, and then he goes, I don't know if they'll sell. So he sent me like 6. We did them, and they immediately sold.
Uh-huh.
And so then we did like 50. And so this is what it looks like.
Very nice.
Oh,
Now I didn't do the paint work
Sweater.
on it.
Yeah,
I
I
just see it.
just watched Blackula on Me TV a couple weeks ago. I think it was.
Yeah.
Ben Gould.
What
So I
kind of
want
body
one.
is that on? Hey, Stacy, what kind of body is that on?
It's Amigo body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he did them. They're numbered.
Wow.
Oh, okay, I
that's
see.
super cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and that way it's a coffin box. You can open up a clamshell box.
Yeah. Very cool.
Stacy, do you plan on going to any conventions or shows this year?
Not this year. I want to try to go and start doing Kentucky maybe next year. I don't know if I will. I really want to drive that far to go to Atlanta anymore.
Yeah.
You know, when I lived in Florida, that was bad enough because it takes forever to get out of Florida.
What part of Florida did you live in?
I was over by Sanford, but I was also over by the West Coast, over by Port Richey, Clearwater,
Nice.
all that. So I lived in Florida for a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't like Florida.
Stacy, I was going to ask you one more question. You know, we spent a lot of time talking about flocking and painting and that sort of thing. You got 3D printers. You got more than I've got. You know, what kind of stuff do you do with your 3D printers?
Well, right now they're just sitting. I sold you one.
Dude, come on. Yeah, I know. I got one of yours.
They're just sitting there. I'm not doing anything right now because I got to get caught up with this. See, I had carpal tunnel surgery. So this hand here, if you can see the scar, that one's done.
Ouch.
Damn.
I had no feeling in this hand for over a year, and I still was able to do flocking and stuff. This hand, I have very little feeling in.
Oh, man.
It's numb still. So this hand gets done February 9th.
Wow.
2 months after that, then I'll be able to get back to where I can really whip out some work. Because I had to do a bunch of work, quit for a couple months, and now I'm going to have to do it again. So I'm trying to get all the stuff that I can get done before, and then I have to sit on the other work, or I say, you know, if you don't want to wait that long, then, you know, here's a few of my friends, go to them, you know, and that's what I'll do. But as soon as I can get over this, you know, I'm going to try to do some stuff. So, yeah, I also want to do some 3D car models that are like 125th, 125th scale, that are out of print, that are selling for, like, if you find the kit, they're selling for like $300 and $400.
Oh, my goodness.
Man.
Yeah, just for a car model.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and I bought a scanner that's supposed to be probably the top-notch scanner. I have two of them, but I bought another one. I spent like $800 for the scanner, I think it was, or $1,000. I don't know. Whatever it was. I won't remember this podcast tomorrow, so.
Well, two things before we let you go. We got to get Paul on here next. So you're gonna have to pass the word to him.
Who? My Paul Harrison.
Paul Harrison, yeah.
He doesn't do. He doesn't even do Facebook.
Yeah, he's offline.
Totally private, huh?
If I have to do something, I usually have to go through Stacy. Yeah, with him.
That's how you have to, and then I have to pass the message on to him. He's kind of.
What does Paul do?
He
Third
does
Son.
Third Son.
Oh,
Third Son
okay.
books.
Third Son books, yeah. Yeah, I bought a lot of stuff through him.
Yep.
He might be open to it because he does have one YouTube video where he shows you how to
His
assemble.
sons did that for him, and his sons pushed him into it. He hated it. So I try to get him to do Messenger. Like when I get stuff in, I'm like, hey, instead of me taking 50 photos and then emailing them to you, let's do a video. I can't do that. I can't do
Oh, come on. It's fun.
Yeah, so that's not gonna happen.
Well, hey, Stacy, did you get the list of questions I sent you?
I think they're in the.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that because we didn't get to any of them.
Hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
I said, so don't worry about them because we didn't get to any of those questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that. No, actually, there's one question I'd like to ask you that I try to ask most of our special guests that come on. Do you remember when you were a child and when you like stopped playing and then started collecting? Was there a time that it clicked, or did you constantly collect even after childhood? Or I mean, was there a time you remember?
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
You sound like Ace Allgood now.
I
I didn't ask you when you lost your virginity. I just said
Same time. Same time.
same time you're quit playing with G.I. Joe.
I still play with my G.I. Joe stuff. So I have a jacuzzi, and I take my Seawolf in the jacuzzi with me. And
Good for you, sir. Good
Jim
for
will
you.
tell you that he made some waterproof stickers for me for the sun, and they stay on at
In the hot
105
tub.
degrees. And I kind of do a different version of Boiling Lagoon. But that's all we'll talk about, okay? No, but I honestly, I still pull my stuff out and I will play with it. Everything. If I can't play with it, then I don't want to keep it.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I heard that. Yep.
very cool. Well, it's getting to that time, gentlemen.
Ah,
Jim
crap.
Egner, you know what time it is. It's
Man.
this is a. I know you only saw like one of my episodes, but at the end of the show, we always like to do some trivia. So, in honor of you being from Michigan, tonight's trivia is how Michigan are you?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So, we're expecting you to get 100 on this,
No,
Stacy.
I moved away when I was 10.
Well,
God, I'm gonna fail.
Jim's never been to Michigan, so
Start
he's gonna
drinking
fail. But Jim, you were up first, and if you don't get the answer, I'm sure Stacy will come in and give you the answer.
Yep. Here we go.
The Mackinac Bridge is how many miles in length?
790.
Miles. Holy shit, that's cool.
I have no idea. I don't want to look up the answer.
No
Five.
Googling. No Googling, brother.
I have no
Anybody?
idea.
No?
Five.
I'll guess 7 miles.
It's 5 miles. 5 miles long.
I haven't even been over it.
Yeah,
All
that's
way
the
up
funky
top.
thing about it. I have been over it, and I have no clue as how long it is. It's just a long way.
My cousin tells me he's scared to death going over it.
Well, it's a little creepy.
If it's windy, it's not fun.
Yeah. Well, I've been over
Right.
the Skyway several times. So
Medic Mike, this one's for you. Quakers settlers name what present-day Detroit suburb made it their hometown, and they were coming from New York in 1824. It's a suburb of Detroit.
Since I only know the name of one suburb of Detroit, we're going to go with Flat Rock.
No. Jim, I heard your wife yell something out.
Quahog is what she said.
No. Anybody? They're from New York. There's a town in New York named after this too. There, Angela. Farmington.
Farming.
Farmington Hills.
We have one of those in Wisconsin too, but hey.
Yeah. All right, Stacy, you're up. What is the highest range of mountains in Michigan?
Oh, everybody knows this one. Come on.
Golly.
It's not the Alps and it's not the Andes. Okay.
It's the Rockies. Don't
Can I
anybody
phone a
know this?
friend?
Nobody?
I don't know.
The Porcupine Mountains?
I never even
I
heard
never
of
heard of those.
I never did either, man. Hey,
Mountains
this is
are
your
not
state.
in the Midwest.
This is your state, not mine. What is the origin of the place named Detroit? What country? What language?
Oh, for me,
Yes,
I'm gonna say French.
it is French. Yes.
Yeah.
Detroit or something like that. I don't know. What bridge connects Michigan with Canada at Detroit? And that would be Angela.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that called?
No clue.
Anybody?
No clue.
Ambassador Bridge. The finding of a broken axe by a survey party led to the naming of what Michigan community?
Is that me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Did you?
Oh my.
We need multiple choice. We need multiple choice on this.
Broken axe.
No, that's close though. Bad axe.
That's up by me.
Bad axe. Okay.
Yeah, that's up by me.
You should have known that, Stacy.
I wasn't my question.
No, if he passes, anybody can jump in.
Egner
He
doesn't know
didn't
any of
pass.
these questions. So.
He didn't pass.
Lake Erie. Listen, it's my rules, okay? When you have your own show, you can do your own.
Pardon.
I can still mute you from here, Stacy. Okay.
Okay.
No, Lake Erie is named
Your threats mean nothing. No.
For an Indian word having what meaning? This would be Medic Mike.
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, now it's up for grabs. Whoever wants it.
What's the question again?
Lake Erie is named for an Indian word having what meaning? Or what does the word mean?
Scary.
I'll guess blue water. I don't know.
No, it means cat.
It means
Really?
cat.
Yes.
In what language?
Native American. I don't know.
There's a lot of those. Specify.
I'm going to mute you too. What actress born in Detroit in 1965 appeared in the TV series Twin Peaks? Jim Egner's wife probably knows it.
Sherilyn Fenn.
Yeah. Fenn? You say Fenn? Yeah.
Sherilyn Fenn.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess that. Yeah.
Everybody should know this one because this is the only one I knew. What character did Detroit-born actor Harry Morgan play in the long-running television show MASH?
Oh, jeez.
And
Nobody
this
knows?
is
Colonel Potter.
Colonel Potter, yeah.
Colonel Potter. Yes, sir.
If it's MASH, you all know that.
Flint-born Bob Eubanks became best known for hosting what successful game show? This is Mike. G.I. Joe.
Bob Eubanks.
Yep.
Man, I'm gonna feel stupid if I get this wrong. I'll say let's make a deal.
No, sir. But it is one of those
Newlywed Game.
Newlywed Game. It is. Yes, sir. Jim Egner.
That
Jim, I think you and Stacy are tied 2-2.
Tied for last place.
In what Michigan city was actor Lee Majors born? And I have a hard time pronouncing this. I had to look this.
Hey,
up.
I know this one.
Well, it's not your turn. It's Angelo's.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm waiting for Angelo to get it wrong.
Medic Mike, go right ahead. Medic Mike.
Medic Mike.
Wyandotte.
Wyandotte. Yep. Okay. We are last round, and we are back up to Jim Egner. Or no, yeah,
Thank
Jim
goodness.
Egner. Eddie Murphy portrayed a streetwise Detroit detective in what 1984 movie filmed in Detroit?
Really?
Beverly Hills Cop, yeah.
You couldn't have given that many. Oh
Nah.
man.
Now, that was an easy one.
Medic Mike. Before moving to Ann Arbor, the University of Michigan was originally established in what city?
Grand Rapids.
No, sir. Anybody?
In the Motor City?
I think it's
Motor
Stacy's
City?
turn.
No, it's anybody. Whoever wants it.
Detroit?
Detroit it is. Detroit. Mrs.
Team Egner
Egner.
got that one.
Mrs. Egner got the point tonight.
You're gonna have to put her on a
You
panel.
can't combine points.
All right, Stacy, that's your last question. You can take it over with 3 points here. What's this Star Wars actor initially enrolled at Michigan as a pre-med student before moving to the School of Music, Theater, and Dance and earning his degree in 1955? What actor? Not only was he in Star Wars, but a lot of other stuff.
Harrison Ford.
No, sir.
James Earl Jones.
Yep.
James Earl Jones.
James
Yes,
Earl
the-
Jones.
the voice of Darth Vader. Yes, sir.
Well, how about a famous one? Where was Madonna born?
Madonna? I
Madonna,
would say Detroit, right? Or no?
Bay City, Michigan.
Bay City. GI Dojo?
Yes, sir.
This is yours. This stadium used for football is the second largest stadium in the world. It is known as the Big House. A record attendance of how many was achieved in 2013? And I'm just going to throw this in there. I'm a Penn State grad, and ours is the second largest.
So
Behind
the name of the field or the
the Big House at Michigan. Yeah.
oh is that Ford Field?
How many can they seat?
Oh, we'll say
I'll give you a
120.
hint. Penn State's is 112,000.
Yeah, I'll say 120,000. 120.
115, 109.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Yep.
a mob.
And this question could go out to anybody, but I'm gearing it towards Stacy. Who cheated this year in the NCAA to win the national title for football?
Is that a loaded question or what? I mean,
I just made that up, but
yeah,
I thought you'd enjoy that one. So.
yeah.
Hey, Stacy, I'm going to bring you up big, and this is your chance to your 5 minutes of fame. If you want to tell people how to find you, if you want to put up if you have a YouTube channel or a website, or how can they find you to get some work done?
No, just really only through Facebook, or you can email me sig.20@yahoo.com, or under Facebook again under Stacy Armstrong or sig20. Either way, just contact me, and I usually respond pretty quick. You can do it through Messenger too. Tell me what you want to do, and we can figure out how to work you in this my schedule. I work every day, so.
Yep. Even with broken hands, right?
Well, you get used to it.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, hey,
anything.
Stacy, it was a privilege having you on, man, and
Thank you.
maybe we can bring you back on again and actually go through those questions I sent you.
I'd like to say it was a pleasure, but I won't be back.
And that's what happens to a lot of our guests. But hey,
Never to
usually
be
they don't
heard
say
from
it li-
again.
Usually they don't say it live on the air, but okay.
No, I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Very cool. Oh, gentlemen, have a good week, and we will see you next week with our special guest. Who did I say it was again?
You hadn't told us.
Yeah. Didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You just
did.
forgot.
Yeah,
I lost
that's
it
probably
now.
it.
I don't know, but we got some guy coming on next week.
Anyway,
Oh, here it is.
here.
Oh, it's Keith Ward, the diorama guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, that'll be fun.
all right. Well, Stacy, once again, thank you, and everybody else,
Thank you.
have a great week.
Thanks, everybody. Have a
Good
good
night.
week.
Thanks
Good
for
night,
joining us.
y'all. Thanks for
Bye, guys.